Good morning, students. So, how's everyone? Has everyone taken their breakfast already? That's good. So I assume everyone's ready to fill up their minds with knowledge this morning. But first, before we start, take a look at the board. Who can tell me about what these pictures are trying to mean? Okay, yes, Mr. Marino, very good. Listening. You may now sit down. This morning, we are going to tackle about one of the macro skills in English, the skill of listening. I have already pasted the objectives for this lesson. Mr. Mandantes, can you read the objectives? Thank you, Mr. Mandantes. You may now sit down. Yes, that is right. This morning, we are going to undergo through listening activities, and you are expected to follow instructions and handle information through listening effectively. Are you ready? That's good to hear. Now for the pre-test to test your listening ability. I will be giving you commands and you will execute them properly. Take note that do not move unless I finish my instruction. I will say go and you will be moving to execute my command. Okay, I'll repeat the instruction. I will be giving you commands and you will have to execute them properly, but you can't move unless I said so. I will say go and you will execute the instruction. Okay, let's start. Remember, this will also be graded, so do your best. Number 1. Stand up and face where the sun shines and raise your right hand. Go! Okay? I will not be telling you who's the one who's mistaken. No further movements. Okay? Let's proceed to number 2. Just retain your positions. For the number 2, sit down, raise your right leg, and raise your left eyebrow. Okay? Okay, this one's easy for you. Very good. Last, raise your left middle finger and index finger, and then close your right eye. Okay, this one has several details. Okay, very good, that's enough. So now that everyone has taken their seat, as a head start for our discussion, we have this saying by Nielo, 2023. Nature has given to man one tongue but 2 ears, so that we may hear from others twice as much as we speak. Do you get it, everyone? Nature has given to man one tongue but 2 ears, so we may hear from others twice as much as we speak. Who can give me an elaboration about that quote? Okay, Miss Ingad, let's hear you out. Yes, that's correct. That's why we say we have to listen more than we talk, because we cannot judge the information that we have received, whether it's a fact or a bluff or untrue, if we can't analyze it properly through listening. So class, listening is very effective, especially that we use it every day. Who among you here goes with a day without listening? Isn't it amazing? We listen to everything that we do. You watch movies, you listen. You watch your TikToks, you listen. And now that you're here, having your seats right there, you are listening to me. So, As one of the 5 macro skills in English, listening is very essential. That's why you have to listen to me this morning. Okay, let's proceed. Open your books in page 15 and you will see there what? Yes, the stages of listening. So how many stages of listening do we have? 5. The receiving, understanding, remembering, evaluating, and responding. So this morning, we are going to tackle each one of them and understand each one of them. So those are the stages of listening. So, first, receiving. As you can see in your books, we have lengthy paragraphs there, but receiving actually means the intentional focus on hearing the speaker's message. So, what does that mean? So, this is primarily the main focus of the stages of listening. So, this is a head start. So, in this stage, we just have to remember that we are only hearing the speaker's message. And next is the understanding. Here, we attempt to learn what the speaker's message is. But there's a challenge in this stage. Especially, take note, the speaker's message cannot be received or understood, especially in this stage, which is understanding, if the speaker does not enunciate his or her message properly. That's why when you speak with someone, with your conversation partner, you have to enunciate the words properly, unless they are your close friends who can understand every single twist of your conversation patterns. But still, you have to enunciate words properly for avoiding misinterpretations and misconceptions of ideas. And the third one is remembering. So, from the word remembering, you just have to remember what you have heard. That's why we say, if you haven't understand a message or if you haven't understand what someone have told you, so it does mean that you didn't listen effectively. So, you listen. The fourth stage is, yes, evaluating. In evaluating, the listener will be judging the value of the message. So if you are the speaker and you want your listeners to effectively receive the message or think of your message as of high value, these are the things that you have to do. First, you have to speak clearly, yes, and then you have to present ideas logically, and lastly, you have to provide reasons to support the points that you have made. So, the fifth stage is responding. This is often referred to as feedback. Why feedback? Because there is a response. Response from the listener. In this stage, the listener will have his or her involvement in the conversation by giving his or her response or his or her answer about the idea that he or she has received. So those are the 5 stages of listening. Again, the receiving, understanding, remembering, evaluating, and responding. Now, let's proceed to the types or the kinds of listening. Flip your books to page 18 and you will see the types of listening. Yes, we also have 5 types of listening. We have the discriminative listening, the comprehensive listening, the critical listening, therapeutic listening, and lastly, the appreciative listening. So the first one is discriminative listening. In discriminative listening, this makes the speaker sensitive to arguments, and he or she will be able to or expected to distinguish facts from opinions. So that's for the discriminative listening. Though it's a lengthy paragraph there, that is the only essential sentence that you have to remember. Next one is the comprehensive listening. In the comprehensive listening, the listener is being helped to understand the message. That's all. So the third type of listening is the critical listening. It makes the listener evaluate whether they will accept or reject the message. Next is the therapeutic listening. Here, the listener serves as the sounding board without judging or evaluating the message. And lastly, the appreciative listening. This is intended for fun or for pleasure or gain sensory impressions. So those are the 5 types or kinds of listening. Again, the discriminative, comprehensive, critical, therapeutic, and appreciative listening. Okay. Now that you have received the discussion for our topics, I will now be grouping you into 5 groups. Okay, listen very carefully. Within 5 groups, you will be representing the 5 types of listening: the discriminative, comprehensive, critical, therapeutic, and appreciative listening. You will be portraying the definitions of those through role-playing. Yes, but do not worry, it will only worth a 3-minute presentation and an 8 to 10 minutes preparation. So are you ready? Okay, let's group you into 5 groups. Very good! All of you did well. And now to test your understanding about the topics that we have gone through, it is time for the evaluation. Okay, get one whole sheet of paper and then turn your books to page 24 and answer the evaluation within 5 minutes. Okay, start. Okay, 5 minutes up. Pass your paper to the left person in your seat until it reaches the last person in your line. And then, pass it forward until it reaches the first person sitting here. Okay, start. I have received all your papers, and for your assignment, take note. Listen to the song Like a Bridge Over Troubled Water. And then, in page 27, there is a closed test there, and answer it and pass it to me to our next meeting. Okay, understood? So that's all for this morning, and don't forget your assignments, okay?